Hey guys, 828 Fine Adventure. We just picked up a 25 Toyota Tacoma SR5, four-wheel drive, and it came with these little bitty tires. They are 245 70/17, and they're just tiny little tires. Mostly the manufacturer puts those on vehicles so they get good gas mileage and they're really quiet on the road. So the first thing we needed to do, and I'm going to say it wasn't at the top of my list, but it was one of the mods I definitely wanted to do, was get some new tires for this truck, and I wanted to upsize. And I had a lot of concerns about, were these new tires going to make the gas mileage worse, which sometimes they can because they're larger, and were they going to raise the vehicle up, which again would cause your gas mileage to go down. And, I had a lot of concerns about that, but I went with a almost the largest size you can fit, which is the 285 70/17. We ended up going with the 275 70/17, and they fit great. There's at least 2 inches at the front of the wheel tub and 2 inches at the rear of the front wheel tub at full lock, either way, right or left, for this tire. I could have gone with 285s. They would have been just a few millimeters wider and a few millimeters taller, but I went with the 275 70/17, and they ride great. I picked these up at Discount Tire and got the certificates with them, which is good. And the certificates are like insurance. They're just road hazard insurance. And some people are like, well, I could buy a whole nother tire for the cost of 4 certificates. But there's Discount Tires all over the place now. And if you have trouble when you're on vacation or your kids at school or whatever, you can get it fixed and they'll take care of it. So that's why I buy those. As for installation, I made an appointment. I went in. I had to wait about 15 minutes. They put my truck on the rack. They put the tires on. They were balanced correctly the first time. I took it out on the highway and got it up to speed. I wanted to make sure that they, weren't out of balance or there weren't any mistakes or anything. And everything's great. Now, as for ride quality, these tires I went with, the 275 70/17, are the Falcon Wild Peak AT4s, and they are a 3 Mountain Peak, which is great for snow. These tires drive just like the little radials, and they're quiet, just like the little radials. So, it's like all my concerns were just for nothing. Am I sorry I didn't go with the larger tire? No, because the larger tires tend to slow your vehicle down. So this is the perfect size. Changes the whole look of the truck. Lifts it up about an inch or so, and it just fills the wheel tub. Maybe there's wheels in the future. These 17-inch wheels, they're a 17/7, and they have about a 53 to 56 millimeter positive offset, which means the wheel is pushed in towards the chassis. So, tucked inside of the wheel tub. So, if I went with a less positive, say a 35 or a plus 25 or a plus 18 or even a 0, as you get towards 0, the wheel starts moving towards the outside and then past the fender's edge and starts moving out. So think of it as if your tire's on there and you're driving in the rain would be spraying up beside the truck. So if you do something like that and you go with those little positive offsets, you want to make sure you got mud flaps and maybe some running boards that'll block some of that spray. Otherwise, you'll chip up your paint. All I can say is I'm happy with these tires. Again, they were 275 70/17 Falcon Wild Peak AT4s. They are a C load range. I believe it's called the load range. And the tires, they weigh in at about 55 pounds, 55 to 58 pounds each. I haven't noticed a hit on the performance or noise or anything like that, especially on the highway where I drove it. And I'm really happy with them. So if you're thinking about a tire, a large tire to go on your OE SR5 wheel, which is like a really tiny wheel and tiny tire, the 275 7017 all-terrain tire, especially these 18.4s, look good and fit. There's no rubbing whatsoever. So give them a shot. If you would, comment below and let me know what you think about this. I'd like to hear what you put on your Tacoma, and let me know, your thoughts and your experiences. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll get back to you in the comment section. I always do. If you would, like, share, and subscribe. I've got a bunch more mods going to happen on this Tacoma, and I will see you later. See ya.